All right, hello everyone. This is our budget planner project. And next up is our team members and roles.
All right, so I'm Matthew DeZerko, and I implemented a feature that allows users to visually see the transactions that occur day by day during their budget.
All right, my name is Nick Florima, and I added an ability to track your progress towards any type of savings goals that the user might have in mind.
I'm Zedin. I added a feature that allows you to estimate your taxes based on certain factors in your finances.
My name is Kate Osborne. I implemented a feature that allows you to see the currency exchange rates of different values, and it also uses an external API call for that calculation.
Hello, my name is David Valdez. I created the GitHub repo and just got the basic functionality and look of the website working to add components onto.
Okay, so for our end architecture, we used React.js with Vite to optimize our build performance. And Tailwind CSS was used for the responsive client-side component styling. And we used custom hooks for different state management and the API interactions. For our backend, we used Express.js with RESTful APIs and the modular route handling. MySQL was used for the user database, actual like their budgets and their transactions in a table kind of way. And we used JWT middleware for the protected and secure route authentication. Our key integrations were the external API for the real-time currency exchange rates, as well as the tax calculation algorithm that was based on local jurisdiction data. And we used Chart.js for the actual daily visualization graph transactions.
All right, so here's our results for our project. Here's some things that were kind of successfully implemented in our features. We had user authentication and profile management, budget creation and tracking system, effective tax calculator based on income, location, real-time currency conversion using an external API, daily transaction visualizations with charts and graphs, and finally, our savings goal tracker with progress indicators.
So some of our technical achievements, we utilized the REST API methodology endpoints for all of our create, read, update, and delete operations, which is pretty vital for a project in this realm. We implemented JOT authentication, which is very common for full stack applications as well, just to secure. And then we were using Tailwind CSS, which allowed a very sleek and easy to interact with UI for any users who would like to actually use this. We set up a MySQL database, which is perfect for our case because it allows relationships between the users, budgets, and transaction tables, and keeps it specific to the one user. And then we also use some external APIs for our tax data and currency exchange rates that we're actually fetching from other already pre-made. And then some of the challenges we dealt with was real-time data updates between front end and back end. So anytime we were doing a pusher, we were having to make sure that everyone was also pulling and not adding updates to an old out-of-date version of the app, which would cause issues with syncing. Same thing with the state across multiple components. Sometimes it wouldn't be fully synced up and might interrupt the flow of our work. We were also implemented some error handling and input validation. Some of the time when we would try to add a new component, it wouldn't behave as we wanted it to, and we would have to go through and try and see why some of the calls or why some of the inputs weren't being taken in as desired. And then making sure the SQL database had proper secure storage, such as with any of your values or when storing passwords or anything relating to users' personal data.
So in conclusion, we wanted to make our project we wanted to design our project to meet a wide range of financial needs. We delivered a fully functional budget planning application designed to help users with their finances. It allows the users to easily track their daily spending, plan for taxes, monitor their saving goals, and even manage multiple currencies for international use. As far as real world application, we wanted to build this to have practical tools that can help a user, whether it's daily, monthly, and yearly. The application is scalable, meaning that it can support many users and transactions at once. We prioritize the security and privacy every step of the way of the development. As a team, we successfully brought 5 distinct features into one smooth, cohesive application. Every team member his work made a meaningful impact to the overall user experience, and we completed everything on time and as planned as far as our budget timeline.
All right, and so now we're going to go ahead and demo the application. And so the first thing when you get onto the application, it asks you to log in. And so we'll go ahead and log in. Now, once you're actually logged in, you're displayed with a dashboard with all different kinds of functionalities. Now, at the top, you see a tab bar with all of these different functionalities such as transactions, categories, budgets, and tax estimator. And so once you actually reach the dashboard, you do see a few things that are fun. So the first thing is this currency converter that uses that external API. And so we'll go ahead and test that. And you'll be able to see that we do have accurate conversion rates. Next thing is the component down here that's not at the tab bar, which is the savings goals component. And so this allows you to add different goals as well as edit the goals and then add, the amount of money that you have adding towards it. So it is quite dynamic. And now the other functionality that was added is the tax estimator. So we'll just give a good example. And so you're able to use your annual income, your state, as well as your self-employment income to calculate taxes, as well as any deductions or credits, and even as far as different pay periods if you want to calculate those taxes. And so in addition, there's actually an export button. I didn't see that, but there is an export button for the taxes, which is pretty cool. And so the next thing is the different tab bars at the top. So for transactions, categories, and budgets, you're able to actually use these to interact with the components in the front dashboard, such as income, expenses, balance, and savings rates. And so within these transactions, you're able to add any transactions or expenses income, along with any different categories you want to use, as well as budgeting for budget management. And you can also view the details in here and see more sophisticated graphs in terms of our income, expenses, and savings for each period. And as well as being able to edit those budgets or delete them. In addition, we also have the ability to not only take advantage of all these components and functionalities, but you can separate them within different time frames, such as month or even year. And so you're able to see an entire screenshot of different time periods and your different budgets, savings, income, expenses, etc. And that should be it. And so thank you very much.